Hi, welcome to the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy. I'm here today with a pick a card reading for you. A big welcome back to my beautiful returning subscribers. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for your kind comments as well. And I want to congratulate this month's winner of the free tarot reading. And if you are subscribed to the channel, or if you are a new subscriber, or you're just here for the very first time, we welcome you. And I do offer a chance for my subscribers to win a free tarot reading as a thank you for your presence here on this channel. And all you have to do to enter for that free reading is to drop your comment below any of my videos this month for your chance to win. Be sure to hit your notification bell though if you do decide to leave me a comment and you would like to be considered for the reading, because that's how I will notify you via the comment section if you are chosen the winner. And I will reach out to you via the comment section. I will respond to your comment, and I will give you clear indications on how to reach out to me so we can get the ball rolling. So welcome to the Tarot Cottage. If you're here for the very first time, we welcome you. We hope that you will join our beautiful soul family here today. Today's topic is a no contact reading, and the person on your mind, what are they dying to say to you? We do have 3 piles to choose from today. Pile number 1 with the white flower and the Justice card. Pile number 2 with the reddish flower and the Judgment card. And pile number 3 with the yellow flower and the High Priestess. So whichever pile or piles are calling out to you, you can pause the video, whichever one is really calling your name, or you can really trust your own intuition. This reading is for the collective, so if the reading doesn't resonate with you, you can try a different pile or a different spread altogether. But whichever is calling your name, my timestamps will be listed below. And again, today is a no contact reading about the person on your mind and what are they dying to say to you. I'm going to start with pile number 1. Hello, pile number 1. You are drawn to the whitish flower and to the Justice card as well, and this is your reading. What is the person on your mind in no contact dying to say? The Justice card here has half a brain and half a heart. So there is definitely so much going on in the mind. It looks like a maze. The heart is very vulnerable, and I feel like it's like I get this instance of you hit a nerve, or you are sort of the nerve that gets hit. It's like there's a feeling of you really influencing this person quite a bit with the thoughts that they have about you, and it really affects their heart space as well. So let's take a look here. This person in no contact with pile number 1, what are they dying to say? Oh, 5 of Cups, death, right out of the gate for you, pile 1. We're going to pair these two together. There's already so much deep regret, and this is really the crux, I feel like, of the message here for you, pile 1. Already straight out of the gate, there's so much information coming from this energy. There's so much loss that they are expressing. This regret of not perhaps taking some type of action, and a lot of hesitation that they experienced in the past with you, all because of fear. And I feel like all because they're also saying that what they wish that they could say was that they were ill-equipped, or they weren't experienced enough to understand the opportunity that was sitting in front of me. And there's such a deep sort of regret and almost an apology coming forward about what I'm so sorry that I didn't take a risk, or I didn't take a chance on this connection. They should have given it more of their focus. 3 of Swords, pile 1. A lot of heartbreak here. And it feels almost, they're almost saying like, I almost deserve it. Like part of me knew that there was something very special here. Part of me knew that this could have been something bigger than what it turned into. It's like I saw this coming. That's what I keep hearing, is I saw this coming. And we can't deny that the 3 of Swords does represent deep disappointment in myself, in the situation. 9 of Swords. They also want to say that they dream of you very often, and that these thoughts are very consistent. And it's like they also don't feel like there's anything they can do about it. It just seems like it is what it is. It feels like it just is what it is, this whole situation, because you were the ideal. And that's what they're also saying. They do feel like you were the one that got away, and you were this ideal. And it almost feels now like they don't know how not to hold on to the connection. There's the Strength, there's the Page of Swords. They also want to say that they sometimes check in on you online. And that sometimes when they check in on you online, it is very painful because the picture that you paint online is very pretty, is a beautiful picture. So you could be perhaps in a new relationship, or you're just looking amazing, or you're looking like you're having the time of your life. We all know that online personas can vary and differ from our true perspective of what's going on in our life. But they get jealous. And they're also saying that they sort of had this smug expectation that things would just evolve naturally. It's like they expected things to progress naturally without their help. And they're regretful about that. We have the 7 of Wands. They want to speak about the fear that held them back. And there's a feeling of trying to triumph over the disappointment. They are saying that they try to kind of ward off thoughts of you, or they try to ward off the memories, truly the memories they're talking about, nostalgia. Because it makes them, it hits a nerve. That's what they're bringing me back here to the heart space. It hits a nerve. We have the Star. And you also feel very far away, even geographically. It's like you feel so far away from me. But that you still influence my life more than you realize. Like they think about you when they're making decisions, and they wonder about what the life you could have led together would have looked like. Here's the 4 of Swords, and they're stuck in that box. They're stuck in that past perspective. And I also just heard I never tried. And they're stuck with that reality too. There's this defense energy of like waiting for the next opportunity. They also want to speak about the dishonesty between you in the past, because they don't feel like the two of you were very clear with each other. And they keep saying, I foolishly assumed that this was all going to be temporary and that things would progress naturally. I was too smug in that mentality. And I'm paying for it. Keeping myself safe, and now I'm paying for it. And they're also saying that they would make a very different decision if they could go back, because now they have a deeper awareness. They have more understanding about life and about how, you know, rejection feels, and they would have risked it. But they know that they can't go back to yesterday, and I feel like that's kind of what sort of goes through their mind over and over again, makes them vulnerable, is that they cringe sometimes about the things that they said or the things that they didn't say. They cringe about the past at times. They're bringing forward a very sort of student energy with the Page of Swords. So there could have been education associated with your connection. So you could have gone to school together potentially. But they're more so speaking about the education they've received through this cycle, a repeating cycle, because they just keep going like a record player over and over and over. It's like you're a cassette that just keeps playing in my mind. And with this extra ace with the Page of Swords, like, this has been an idea, this has been a thought process that has sort of taken over at times, and it hits a nerve, makes their heart feel very vulnerable. Wheel of Fortune. Backup deck is the Ace of Swords with the 2 of Wands. And they keep talking about the plans that they had that they didn't execute. For fear as well. And they've learned, again, they keep talking about this valuable lesson that they have learned because of this momentum, because of the situation. I'm going to use the Cottage Masculine Oracle, please. What are they dying to say, please, to pile number 1? You drive me crazy. And they're playing that song now for me, You Drive Me Crazy, the one with Britney Spears. And there's a, like, they're highlighting the brown hair of the male in that video. Just big, shaggy brown hair. You send me mixed signals. And they do speak about, like, the past sort of cat and mouse game that did happen in the past here, that had their guard up. It was kind of exciting as well. They're saying that in truth, it was exciting, but it also kept their guard up. It also kept them sort of fearful of taking that leap of faith. They feel like you are their soulmate. And I still have all of these things that I have left to say about the true nature of their feelings. And there could have been a lot of friendship here as a base of this connection, and it could have moved into something more, but it almost feels like it stagnated on a really heavy flirtation. It was friendship, but it really wasn't friendship. I wish that I had been more honest with you. And I am trying to let go of the past. They are trying to let go of the past, but they're not making a lot of progress in this present moment. The Hermit's taking teeny tiny steps towards evolution. Right now, in the present tense, they are sort of stuck looking in the background, looking into the past energy of this connection. I'm going to use the Entanglement Oracle for you today as well. What are they dying to say, please? To pile number 1. I will link this deck below. The creators have made a beautiful, beautiful deck. We have here, you awoke something in me. And there is this sense of like almost awakening in youth. Like the school message that came through, a sort of a sexual awakening. I want to take care of all of you. And someone who is very physically curious, who perhaps never crossed that line. And if they were inexperienced in the past, they're coming forward saying, I'm no longer inexperienced. I now know what I'm doing. We have here, drape me in your sunshine. What are we dying to say, please, to pile number 1? You make me feel naked. I am going to cover part of this card up because of YouTube's guidelines. But you make me feel naked. And there's just this message too surrounding the naked heart. You are a reflection of me, and that's scary. So the two of you may have been very mirrored in the beginnings of this connection, where both of you were sending mixed signals. Both of you perhaps felt really inexperienced. Maybe they drove you crazy just as much as they say that you drove them crazy. Back of the deck says, I'm working on myself to be good enough for you. And that was also part of one of the reasons why they perhaps didn't step forward, is that they didn't feel good enough. And there's a feeling of I'm also getting the essence of like 2 different cultures as well, and that may be very specific to someone watching at this moment. What are they dying to say to pile number 1, please? We have here, surrender to the sweetness, Venus energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life. And if they could go back, they're also saying if they could go back, or if they had another opportunity, if the stars aligned again, that they would plunge right in, that they would take a leap of faith this time around with what they know, that they still have attachment to you, that they still care very deeply about you. It says you've got the love, codependency, boundaries, but they are being very respectful of your situation or of your life now. They don't want to interrupt it. They don't want to complicate things, and they care enough about you to respect all of your boundaries. We have here the void, stop, embrace winter and the great cosmic womb. And there is a certain amount of, I don't want to say there's not satisfied. There's no satisfaction, but there's a certain amount of complacency. It's like they've accepted, or there is acceptance that is coming in with the Hermit here, with the Wheel of Fortune. There's a certain amount of progress they will be making towards acceptance, because in this moment they feel like all they can do is accept things as they are, which feels very vulnerable. And again, their mind is still that maze, but ultimately they will learn to make progress. Back of the deck says Earth School, life lessons, soul growth, study, and higher learning. Let's end the reading with a charm cast for you, pile 1. The very last thought that this person had, and no contact for pile number 1, or about pile number 1 in the bowl today, please. 3 of Wands, King of Swords. There's a lot of Libra energy here coming forward with the Justice energy. A lot of air, so Aquarius as well. We have the Five of Cups, which we started with, and the Three of Wands, and everything's in a state of limbo right this moment, because they feel like the last thought that they had was about the regret of non-expansion, of not communicating what they really felt, not being able to take on the leadership role that they felt like they should have taken on. And so there's a lot of loss. And loss that I just heard loss prevention, because they feel like it could have been prevented. We have the letter L. You have to also have the seahorse with surrender. It's black, I think, a family energy as well, and about ending. So there could be someone who has moved into a commitment cycle. Live, laugh, love. Yeah, I think of those kitchen signs where we're trying to create a harmonious home. We have acoustics. We do have the black mourning dress. I do feel they think so highly of you, and they hope that you're mourning as much as they are. I know that sounds sort of bad a little bit, but they just hope that you're mourning and feeling it as much as they are. We have W, we have the letter C, and it's an earring, and they're highlighting the fact that it's an earring, so perhaps that is a message for someone. We do have here this sort of DNA helix. I think of the Kundalini awakening, so you are a part of their awakening. Again, there's a sense of you awoke something inside of them, whether it be in youth, but also in a spiritual sense. And we have a music note. All right, pile number 1, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates. I'm praying for you. And if you are interested in a free tarot reading, be sure to drop your comment below for your chance to win, and hit your notification bell if you do so. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personal reading, and I do update that shop daily, so keep checking back. And I hope that you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day. Hello, pile number 2. You were drawn to the red flower. You were also drawn to judgment, and this is your reading. The person in no contact, what are they dying to say to you right now? Now, the judgment here speaks about a lot of reflection. So this person has done a lot of, or spent a lot of time overthinking perhaps, and going over and over in their mind the ways in which they didn't act, the way, sort of how they went wrong, or where they went wrong in this connection, how it all went south in some way. There is a certain amount of sense of resurrection about this card, about wishing that we could be resurrected and have one more chance, one more opportunity. They perhaps do contemplate that or think about that as well. Because even with the red energy, I always get a sense of empowerment with the flower that you were driven to or drawn to. So there's a sense of empowerment as well with some of these thoughts that come forward. Because this person feels as though they have evolved in their understanding of the connection. It's like they feel like they know where it all went wrong. And they don't necessarily put all of the blame on you. They're definitely taking upon themselves some of that, the weight of that burden. What are they dying to say? No contact, please, for pile number 2. I'm using the Wild Unknown Tarot for you today. We have the Four of Swords. And I will say they are working towards peace. We have the Tower reversed. Because they have a very clear understanding. Again, they've spent a lot of time really going over this. This person has like a spiritual mind, or they are spiritually influenced. We have the Seven of Cups. Because they are someone who is very intellectual, or someone who has spent a lot of time understanding their own motivations and their own motives. The only thing that they wish that they knew is that what they're coming forward with here is that I was trying to avoid change. I know that I was afraid of change. I was confused about how you were feeling. And now I still feel that confusion. And I would resurrect. I would come forward and say all of this now, but I don't want to create havoc in your life. We have the Lovers reversed. And they want to speak about here how they made the wrong decision. They made the wrong choice. And there may have been some type of option here. They're talking about options, but it doesn't matter if there's options, because it all boils down to you. It didn't matter if there were other options. And even if it didn't appear that way, even if it didn't, appearances are very deceiving. It didn't matter if there were other options. It was always you. And they want to say that they made the wrong decision in how they acted. They were keeping themselves safe. And I feel like, again, they keep bringing forward like all of the options. Like they keep bringing forward the 99 sheep and then the one little lamb that got lost. It's like this was a message that came forward in pile 1, but this is more profound in your message here, pile 2, is that you are the one that, out of the 100 sheep, you're the one, the 99 were left, but you're the one that got away. This person has a very spiritual perspective. Like it feels like they've spent time studying, you know, they could, you know, studying spiritual text or just being in a religious setting. Like they just feel like a very spiritual minded person. You have the 5 of Pentacles. They also understand and want to say that they recognize that the window is closing. The window of opportunity is closing. And this could even be confusion on their part. It may have already been closed, but in their perspective, they still feel that spark for you. And so they know that the window of opportunity to say these things to you, to make progress, is coming to a close. They also recognize that, again, there could be commitment cycles in place right now for you or for them that muck up the opportunity, or that create cogs in the wheel towards the opportunity. Because here's the 4 of Wands, here's the 5 of Cups. And they are saying here that they would try again in a heartbeat if given the chance. And the truth is kind of freeing in some way. Being able to say it out loud would be very freeing, they say. You have the 10 of Cups. This person also really feels like a complete conversation could give you both peace. Now, this could just be wishful thinking, because again, I do feel like there's still confusion. There's still like this desire for like options, or they still consider you as like an option in the present moment. So this desire for closure might just be a desire to get closer to you. Again, they keep speaking. They're saying, I don't want to create havoc in your life right now. There could be karmic relationships at play here. And just because I'm not talking to you, and just because I'm not contacting you, don't think that I wish that I wasn't, because I feel very differently. It's like they feel like you're both down here on the same level when it comes to the lack of contact and how you feel about it. Or at least, again, they hope that you do because of the 7 of Cups. They're not sure. You have the Strength, Leo energy. A lot of Gemini here today as well. We have the High Priestess. And they feel as though there is this spiritual connection between the two of you. Like deep down, you both know how each other feels. Again, this is wishful thinking. It could be very true, but in their, like it's wishful thinking in this moment because this is their fantasy, their desires. Like in a perfect world, you feel this exact same way about me. You're thinking about me too. You've had this revelation and this realization, and you're regretful, and you just can't come forward the way I can't come forward because you know that we're going to lose something practical and it's not the time. There is this emphasis on the mutual experience that you're both having. And so there could be a very parallel timeline in your relationship cycles, for instance, in your family cycles as well. And they're almost grateful for the revelations. Here on the back of the deck is the 9 of Wands and the 9 of Swords. And this is really reflecting this chapter of reflection with the Judgment, of going over and over and over again. Why did I hold back? Why didn't I take that opportunity? Why didn't I say what I wanted to say? And there is a certain amount of exhaustion that goes along with that reflection period. They also want to say that they have flirted with the idea of reaching out to you in some type of reunion, pile 2. But then their logic kind of steps forward, or some type of relationship could be in the way that stops them in their tracks a little bit because they're afraid. They're afraid of what might happen as a result of that. But they have been toying with the idea of speaking with you or of contacting you. So they may be watching you online. What are they dying to say, please, to pile number 2? I wish that things could be different right now. I am grateful for the spiritual lesson. I do hide behind material things. And this is definitely represented by this Five of Pentacles. The Divine Feminine may also be hiding behind material things in this moment too. They do feel like they've made poor choices in love. My life is not as together as it may seem on the outside. I wish that I could take back my words, and I bury myself in work just to forget about you. Back of the deck says, the timing just wasn't right for us. And yet I do feel like the timing could have been exactly where it needed to be. It could have been perfect timing if they had just tapped into a little bit more strength and created more clarity. I'm going to use the Entanglement Oracle deck for you as well, and I will link this deck below. What are they trying to say to pile number 2, please? I don't want to taint you. They don't want to mess anything up in your life. They don't want to create this tower moment for you. But there is the wheel of their mind. I keep going over that day in my head over and over again, and they've had time to do it, like the hamster wheel turning. I want to meet up in our dreams. There's sort of this fantasy world in their mind that you live in, or that you inhabit. I should have taken the chance. Because they do feel like they would have hit the jackpot. They feel like they would be a lot more satisfied in this moment if they had just taken a chance on this connection as well. It feels like every single song is our song. And back of the deck says, I feel flattered that you noticed me. There's a feeling of like deep appreciation, even underneath, can we start over? Wishing that this connection could have a reset. What are they dying to say, please, to pile number 2? We have here the golden children, tenderness, innocence, and rare gifts, the inner child. There is something, again, they keep bringing me back to the spiritual message about something intuitive about this person as well, perhaps as well about you. But they're speaking about innocence and evolving. So having a period of time where I didn't have all of this understanding, and now I have developed that understanding about this connection, because now I'm questioning everything, lifting the veil, and anything unaligned must go. And that is the function and the purpose of the judgment, to help bring us into more alignment, to help bring us into more satisfaction so we can feel free. And they're giving me the emphasis of the diamond, because diamonds are forged under pressure. And so that's what they're feeling. They're feeling under pressure by all of this reflection that hopefully one day will lead to some type of freedom. We have whale and orca elders, sharing your song, frequency of sound, and diving deep. And so the killer whale always grabs my attention about taking a deep dive down so that they don't express themselves and create something destructive, or to break down anything that you are investing in the present moment. Let's get a charm bowl for you, pile number 2. What was the very last thought that pile 2's person in no contact had about pile number 2? Today in the bowl we have the Magician. The last thought they had about you was communication. They were thinking about returning to home. There was a feeling of like taking a trip to like a hometown, and they were thinking about communicating with you or calling you, or when they were in your hometown in some way, or just even if it's not your hometown, which I'm feeling very heavily for someone, but just returning home, trying to recapture something that we had through communication. But I do feel like they put it off, or they are putting it off in the present moment. Because it just doesn't feel like it's time. We have the letter J and E in the bowl. We have the watermelon. I think of that Harry Styles song. We have always in my heart. We have the yin yang. We do have Pisces reverse. It could be a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. We do have the butterfly of transformation and someone who feels like they have evolved or they have changed in many ways. We have the music notes. And they are speaking about songs, nostalgic songs that they do apply to you. So even your name could have an associated song or a meaning associated with a song. We also have the hatchet. And I always think of the tree of life, something I've invested in. Perhaps something that gets in the way of evolution now. All right, pile number 2, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates with you. If it does, drop your comment below for your chance to win a free tarot reading with me. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personal reading if you feel called to, and I do update that shop daily, so keep checking back. But I hope that you come back here and visit at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day. Hello, pile number 3. You are drawn to the yellow flower. You are also drawn here to the High Priestess, and this is your reading. The person on your mind in no contact, what are they dying to say to you today? Now, the High Priestess does speak about a lot of information that I'm sitting upon that I know is true, that I've been hiding, I've been holding close to my heart or to my chest. They're also really highlighting all of these little daisy-like flowers. They're also showing me the calendula, so that could mean something for someone out there as well. But all of these daisies about uncertainty and like they love me not. I also think of like playfulness and renewals and romance. And they're highlighting all of the baby teeth underneath these teeth. It's like this progress. So the progress and wisdom, but also childhood, youth could be associated with your connection as well. You were drawn here to the yellow energy, and they're speaking of fear. Fear is coming through too. So let's take a look and see. What are they dying to say to pile number 3? Knight of Pentacles. They first want to come out with a strong sense of loyalty. This is like a person that really focuses on their responsibilities, their duty in life, truthfully. And they're saying that there's a certain amount of responsibility they feel that they have to take on here. But they're also very loyal to you. We have the 5 of Wands. And it is only because of this responsibility that they feel that they stay away. And that's what they want you to understand. It's that the current state of affairs in your connection, in the separation that exists, gives you the impression that they're not thinking of you, or it's like you're feeling ignored or you're feeling overlooked. And they're saying that that's completely not the case. There's a sense of them being at war with themselves with this sense of duty. We have the 2 of Swords and we have the Devil. Because they said that even though they shouldn't, you make them want to reach out. Even though they shouldn't, because they feel like responsible for something, responsible for perhaps a family unit, could be their career, whatever the case is, they can't commit in this moment because perhaps they're already in a commitment. And they know that they should not feel this way. It's like sometimes they try to block out the voice. You can see how 2 people are kind of plugging their own ears. Like this is something that does plague them. And they shouldn't want to cross that line. But they wish that they could. There's a real emphasis on the playfulness of the daisy. We have here the 9 of Wands. They also want to speak about how challenging it is for them to hold back and how long it's been. Like they feel very tired. It's been a long time because they just emphasize the temperance and how they've just sort of had to get used to this desire inside because they're like, I put myself here. Here's the Hanged Man, Harry Houdini. And they're feeling like it'll take a miracle for things to change. But that's the truth is that that's not 100% the case. If they took off their blinders and opened their heart space up and led from that heart space, they would have to ask themselves, am I in an environment that I'm in because I want to be there, or am I in an environment because I feel like I have to be there? Back of the deck here is the Moon and the 3 of Wands. They also want to say that they do dream about you often. There is a lot of fantasy that's wrapped up in this connection as well. And I'm hearing that song, that old song from the 50s. Dreams, 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 dreams. It's like when I want you in my arms, whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream. And they're very fiery dreams. Like they're showing the devil horns. You have the 6 of Cups. But honestly, I don't feel like the 2 of you have ever crossed that line in the past because they're talking of innocence and they're talking about loyalty to that innocence and loyalty to putting you up on that pedestal, wanting to keep that and preserve that image of this connection in the past safe. They are also highlighting that they themselves may have children at this time, and that's another one of the competitions to their focus and a part of their responsibilities, which is why they hesitate, and that's why they're sort of at war. Because in their mind, and in, you know, it's illogical to make this assumption that focusing on the hierarchy of the children is the most important task that they feel like they have to take on at this moment. We have the Tower. They also want to highlight that they know that they've made mistakes that they can't take back. They also realize that they can't cross that line because of Tower energies or because of other commitments that you may have, but that they also have at this moment in time too. And that's where this message keeps intensifying of saying, I know I shouldn't want this. I know that I shouldn't want this. We have the Justice, but it just is what it is. The connection, the way that they feel, they've had enough time to just surrender to that belief system of it just is what it is in this moment. They're not only attached to a realm, they're attached to this connection. And they're sort of afraid of that truth. They're trying to keep their life in balance in this moment, so they are just holding steady. And I just heard, hold your horses. We have here the Temperance. And they're already highlighting Temperance with the 9 and the 5 of Wands. But it's like it's been a long time. And now I'm hearing that song, I shouldn't have left you. It's been a long time, I shouldn't have left you. We have the Lovers. This person is also saying that they do feel sort of stuck in their decisions that they have made. Again, that they're also saying, I walked into this decision. I'm not putting the blame on anyone else but myself. I walked into this situation. And I have to keep my love hidden. There's a lot of Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. We have a lot of Gemini as well coming through. Libra, Scorpio. And that they, although, again, they can't show it, there is such a deep, profound sense of loss and regret and remorse. And they do want to come forward with an apology if they have ever made you feel like they overlooked this connection or they didn't see it. They weren't blind to the signs. They were too afraid to explore that realm. They held back too long. And now they've realized they have to suffer in like a thirst. They're feeling very thirsty. And I just saw like a mirage, like in the desert where we see a mirage, because we're so thirsty that we're looking for our brain is looking for some type of comfort in that moment. And that's why they go back to their dreams. It's like they're looking for more comfort. What are they dying to say in this moment, please? I'm not used to a connection like this, so I did run. And I feel like they're still running. And they're calling it responsibility. I can tell you don't trust me. I want to change that. I'm so attracted to you, you have no idea what you do to me. And I have been hurt by love before. So they were too afraid of being rejected in the past to come forward in the past with you. And now they're too afraid to come forward because of the consequences of their current action. So this is a really strong aspect of their temperance and their mastery that they have to gain through this experience or through their experience in life in general, is not feeling paralyzed by the disappointments, but finding detours around the disappointments. You really have been by my side. I do cherish you for that. And despite the no contact, they are sort of thanking you for being a presence, because you have been a constant presence in nostalgia throughout their experience. And even, again, they fall back to that comfort zone of the dream realm when it comes to you. I do have options, but I only want you. Oops, let's see what's under here. Don't focus on who wants me because I want you. So even if there are third party, which Spirit says there could indicate that there could be here, this person still has a lot of focus. You're still on their mind and on their heart very heavily. I'm going to pull some Entanglement Oracle cards for you today, and I will link this deck below. Oh, this actual card came out with it. It's not a part of the deck, but it says, I wish I could take back my words. That's coming forward. I thought that you rejected me. And so they just acted in kind. It's like they felt rejected, so they made you perhaps feel rejected. You are a personal miracle. And I haven't forgotten about what we've shared together. Why didn't you call or text? And that could be why they felt the rejections, because you perhaps stopped reaching out, or maybe you felt rejected, so when they stopped reaching out, but it was like a mirror. There was a mirror between the two of you. Are my secrets safe with you? And that could be why they're not reaching out. The feelings that they have for you have to be kept hidden. And so they're not sure if there's safety in coming forward to express themselves at this moment in time. Whether you would be even open to communication. Oh, we've got a lot coming out here. Can we start over? This definitely wasn't the plan. Oh, we've got two more. Just tell me how to make this right. And the color orange makes me think of you. I always think of that song, Something in the Orange Tells Me We're Not Done, when I see that card. Back of the deck we have, I did feel a lot of external pressure. They were really intimidated by the divine feminine. They're showing the anglerfish here. And that's why they suppressed all of their emotions below the surface of that water. They were feeling too vulnerable. They were too afraid of that rejection to tell you the truth. What do they wish they could say? What are they dying to say to pile number 3, please? We have here a new earth. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. Now, I will say here, this person, they don't feel like they want to end the cycle. It doesn't feel like they want this to be over. It's like they wish that there could still be a turn of events. They just feel like there are obstacles in the way. So they keep holding on to this vision. They intend to keep holding on to the dream of this connection. We have here whale and orca elders. This came out in pile number 2 as well. Share your song, frequency of sound, and diving deep. Now, as I said in pile 2, I always get zoned in on the orca and the killer whale and how they go downward without going up to express themselves so that they don't create some type of destruction. So that could be why they're not approaching at this moment, but they could have intentions to reach out in the future. They have thought about it. We have courageous peony, multifaceted, unique nature, and let yourself be seen. And that's ultimately what they have realized is that, or that's the call to action if there was ever another opportunity or something similar to come forward for them, is how to let themselves be courageous enough to speak their truth. And that's what the Knight of Pentacles is being called to do, because true integrity is not staying put because you think you should. It's about speaking your truth and freeing others from a false realization. Let's get a charm bowl for pile number 3. What was the last thought that pile number 3's person had in the bowl, please? Whoopsie daisy. We have the Knight of Swords, we have the World, and we have the 6 of Wands. There is a definite sense of them thinking about what they should have said, what they should have blurted out. The lack of confidence, too, that came forward that stopped them or imposed upon them so that they couldn't finish off what they had started, because they feel like they started something and they didn't finish it. We have U and W. We also have a little ring here that says Forever Friends. It's a half of a puzzle piece. We have here the Star of Aquarius. It's the white star, which is all about enlightenment and healing, heading in the right direction. We do have the Sacred Heart here, or the Divine Mercy, so there could be a Catholic connection, but asking for mercy, asking for forgiveness. We have the lungs and next to the rocking horse, so there is something about the breath in my lungs or breathing without air. They're playing that song for me by Chris Brown. How am I supposed to breathe with no air? And they're speaking about the past, and perhaps again children, that could be a factor as to why they haven't made evolution at this moment. We do have the sort of helix here next to the Wheel of Fortune reverse, so feeling stuck, but this is a part of their awakening, part of their temperance is to bring themselves to a place of resolution. We also have the Turtle. I think of the Knight of Pentacles, responsibility, slow moving momentum. All right, pile number 3, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates with you. If you would like to enter for your chance to win a free reading, please drop your comment below and make sure you hit your notification bell so that I can notify you if you are chosen the winner. Be sure to check out my link below for the Entanglement Oracle, but also for my shop, my Etsy shop, if you're interested in a personal reading. I do update that shop daily, so keep checking back. And I hope that you come back here for another reading at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope that you have a great day.